Hello and welcome to this After Effects certification preparation series of videos. I'm Luisa Winters. In this video, I want to cover Objective 3.2b, which is to create, apply, and manipulate masks and track mattes. So let's get to it. In After Effects, let's go ahead and close any compositions that we may have open, and let's open the composition called Layer Masks. Layer Masks. If you don't have the exercise files, that's okay. Create a new composition, create a solid, and then just draw a mask on that solid. All right? But for those of you who have the exercise files, let's work on this solid. So if you're not showing the mask, press the letter M for mask. And you're going to see mask 1 and then also mask path. Let's go ahead and delete that solid and let's create a new solid. So layer, new solid. And I'm just going to make a darker green layer here. Click OK. With the layer selected, all I have to do is draw a mask. If the layer is not selected and I draw a mask, that's not a mask at all. That's a shape layer. So if you draw a shape layer, just for now, go ahead and delete it. If the layer is selected and you draw more masks, they by default are set to a transparency of add. And let me go ahead and hide that. And I want to go back to the switches. There you go. I want to that. But you can change them. So if I select all of these masks and I change them to subtract, there you go. I can change them to intersect. So only where they overlap, that will be visible. I can change them to lighten, which is just going to be the same as add. Not really. It has to do with the transparency. See the opacity of the masks? Look what happens if I make one or more of the masks more semi-transparent. Do you see how where they overlap is taking the opacity of the more solid one? So I can also set them to, let me just select all of them, darken. Notice that where they meet is taking the opacity. Let me change this to the transparency grid so you can see it better. It's using the opacity of the more transparent one. See it? And then finally, difference, which looks like yay. And let me actually make these completely visible. And do you see where there's gaps here where they overlap? When you copy and paste from Illustrator, they paste like this, like difference. All right. So I'm just going to have one mask here. And oh, I deleted it inadvertently. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to have one. I made another one. And I'm going to kill the transparency grid. Here we go. If I expand the mask, I have something called mask path that I can change, keyframe, etc., etc. I can have a mask feather. See, so it just gives me like a feathered edge. I can have mask opacity and mask expansion. So I can make my mask bigger or smaller. And of course, you already saw I can have different masks in one layer. So there's a lot of things I can do with masks in here. But I would dare say that one of the most important things that I can do with masks is interpolate them. So here we go. So let's go ahead and open the composition called Track Matte. Track Matte. And just for now, let's not do the track matte. Let's still talk about masks. So here we go. I'm going to make the text invisible. So I just click on the eyeball. And now I'm going to duplicate the city reveal. Control D, Command D, there you have it. Now, I'm going to draw a mask around this building, but it doesn't have to be the whole building, right? So I'm going to zoom in, and I only need it from like here. And let me get the hand tool. To here is good. To here is good. to here, and I'm just clicking with the pen tool, and there you have it, right? M for mask. Now, I'm going to right-click the word mask, and now this tracker appears on the right-hand side. I'm going to track it forward, and as it tracks it, I'm going to really watch it carefully. I'm just going to move that point to about yay. And I'll continue tracking this. And I'm still losing it, but that's okay. That's plenty. Now I'm going to put the city reveal in between those two. All right, so I'm going to make it visible. And now I'm going to change the scale of this. And I'm going to move it to around here. And basically, that's what it is. See, if the mask had worked properly, you would really see the words city reveal are coming from behind the building. We can easily do that with the branch and leaves, for example. In fact, I'm going to create a new composition with that. And I'm going to duplicate this. And now I'm just going to mask this leaf. About yay. And I don't need to do the whole thing, just that. And now M for mask, right-click the words mask path. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and now I'm just going to track it like yay. And you, as it goes, you see it go, and it actually is doing a pretty good job tracking that. And generally speaking, it does a pretty good job. We're going to talk about keyframing it by hand when it doesn't track it well. So we're going to go back to the other building, and then we're going to do it properly. But notice how this is actually working really, really, really well. So I think that's about okay. And now all I have to do is, I don't know, I'll type something. Right, and put them in between. And now if I put this here, it's going to look like the word something is behind the leaf. Of course, you know, it didn't, I didn't finish tracking it, but you get the point. I'm going to end the workspace there. All right, so when it doesn't work properly, let's go back to the track mat and let's delete the mask, right? I'm going to do the whole building this time. I'm going to do it from here to here to here to here, and I'm just going to close it there, right? So M for mask, and I'm going to keyframe it right there. It doesn't really matter where your playhead is. Just keyframe it where the playhead is. Now, go all the way to the beginning, and with the selection tool, click outside of the mask. Click completely outside of the mask, and then click on one point at a time, like that. All right. Now go all the way to the end, or where you don't see the building anymore, say here. And now we can move those points like that. All right. Now we're going to go towards the beginning like yay, and we're going to adjust the points like that. And notice that a new keyframe gets created each and every time. Now towards the end, fix this. Towards the beginning, fix it. And you will notice that the more you go back and forth, the easier are these masks to be adjusted, because they are almost where you need them to be. See it? And this starts becoming easier and easier and easier. And, you know, the more you do this, the more you realize it's like, you know what, I don't even need a mask here anymore. But it's okay, because I'm going to change the scale of the of the text. So it's all good. Eventually, you get really, really good at this. And this is also known as rotoscoping. Create a shortcut there, a keyframe there, and there you go. And there you go. All right, so this should actually work really well. So a little bit of inconsistencies here. I can just fix it by just going here and going, okay, and moving it like that. See it? That's pretty darn good. And now that everything is masked, I can make my text a little bit larger and move it to about yay. And it's going to work really well. All right, so rotoscoping, masking, same difference. All right, so let's go ahead and revert. And let's open the track matte composition. All right, so track matte composition. This time, we are going to make the words city reveal the track matte for the movie city reveal. All right, and this is how it's done. We are going to have the alpha channel of the text. In other words, the transparency of the text. See where the checkerboard pattern is? In fact, I can even change the color of the text to black. Everywhere that you see transparency in this layer, you're going to see transparency in this layer. And that's what the track matte does. So if you're not showing the switches and the modes, go ahead and do that. And we are going to go to the track matte column. And from here, see where it says no matte? Choose city reveal and done. That's it. All right. Oh, Luisa, I'm finding it really hard to see. Yeah, you know what? Create a solid, make it any color. I'm going to leave it green, put it here at the bottom, and there you have it. All right. So you can even animate the text, right? So say P for position, keyframe it there, and have it come from the outside to here. And the body of the text, the fill of the text is going to be the video underneath. Track matte is when the transparency of one layer affects another layer. All right, so that's track matte. Alrighty, I think this brings us to the end of this video. It was lengthy, but it's very important, especially the mask interpolation and this track matte, invaluable. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.